G&T show is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Star Trek: The Final Frontier. These are the voyages of the G&T show, our continuing mission to explore Star Trek storytelling, to seek out new worlds and interesting characters, to boldly go where no show has gone before.
Naomi Wildman. I was setting it up. Oh. Welcome to the G&T show, where obviously we have no script.
Yeah, let's just get this puppy started.
As always, the beautiful, the lovely, the high-booted, short-skirted, big-breasted Terry Lynn.
That would be me. Admiral Shaw.
She's badass. It's Ceridian.
Good morning. It's Sunday on the G&T show.
You know the worst part of this morning? It's not the getting up early. It's the fact they're making me wear clothes to do the show.
It's time for coffee clutch.
Strap on your helmets, boys and girls. It's gonna get rough.
Oh, it's going to be one of those mornings.
Let me put on my seatbelt, my helmet with the little blinky light on top.
For safety.
When we decided we were going to do the G&T show,
Man.
one of the things we said was no standards. G&T show does not go on the air because we're ready. It goes on the air because it's 9 o'clock on Sunday morning.
Mike could have snapped by then and killed us both. Pain sticks for Mike, evidently.
We have our production meetings on the air.
Well, it's the best way to get you to adhere to things.
Yeah, you've now set an expectation. That's the thing about the G&T show is we set no expectations.
I need more coffee.
Wow,
I'm trying to figure out whether or not I want to do general news or Star Trek news, and I figured
this is
out.
Terry
Fuck it.
having a series of small
It's news.
strokes, actually.
Boy, it doesn't take long for this show to deteriorate, does it?
Straight the fuck downhill.
I don't always podcast, but when I do, I G&T.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the G&T Show, episode 146. I'm Terry Lynn.
Jolan True Bitches, how are you? There she is, to my left, your right, wearing her nurse's uniform with the old school headpiece with the little red cross on it, just like the half hat, Terry. And there he is to our right, your left, comfortable in his Klingon hospital bed with spikes and chainmail and everything else a good warrior needs. Ceridium. I never knew that they used chainmail hospital robes, though. I find that interesting.
Oh, in case it would be assassins.
But it's still, even, you know, what's interesting is that it still opens in the back, just like ours.
Of course. Easy access.
And evidently the ridges do go all the way down, Mike. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes, on both sides.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. Obviously, I still hurt. I don't know if everyone knows, but I went in for a biopsy on Friday. Actually, it's been a while since we had a show, so let me back up. Friday, 2 weeks ago, I went in for a surgical procedure on my leg, on my left leg, and that went well. I was in recovery mode. Then this last Friday, I went in for a biopsy, and I got the whole switcheroo. Instead of the biopsy, I had a surgical procedure on my right leg. Friday night, I experienced some severe pain and some severe swelling, and I panicked, freaked out, and ended up spending the night in the emergency room.
Did not panic. You were concerned. There's a difference.
Yes, I was concerned. So went in, did some tests, and there was no blood clot. But I did find out that the second procedure, the one that was a surprise, involved more incisions than the previous one. So that's why I was feeling more pain and more swelling and more discomfort. And but I'm doing well. The rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated.
I think the big question I have is, what kind of pills do you have? And I'm only asking because the union guys have been asking me, so.
Actually, I try not to take them. But I got hydrocodone.
Yeah. That's good stuff. That'll work. It'll help with the swelling too, Mike.
Oh, so I should really take them?
You should probably really take them.
Damn it. I'm Klingon. I thrive on pain.
There's a difference between being tough and being silly.
Okay.
And not the least of which is that I can understand that there's a lot of, because hydrocodone is one of those drugs that is, most people who don't like to take medicine know very well, has a reputation for being so good it's sold on the street, right? But don't worry about it. It's not that addictive. Just take your meds and when you feel the pain, take
And whatever you don't finish, just go ahead and mail to me. I kid to the authorities. I kid.
Yes, the NSA is listening.
Yeah, really.
That's right.
Well, pretty much all the rest of the world is too, so,
Well, I'm so glad.
Poor Mikey. Well, I'm so glad you're okay. We were so worried about
Terry
you
and
the
I
other
were
night.
swapping DMs.
Oh my
asking
God.
if the other had heard, and I appreciate you getting back. And when you got back to me, I then forwarded that to Terry, and we have a little inside baseball going. Anthony Battles, hello, Magnum, my brother.
My phone had died while I was in the ER.
Yeah, I don't think you want to say died in the ER. How about you ran out of power?
Yes, it ran out of battery, and I didn't have my phone charger with me, so I was kind of like stranded. So I had to turn off my phone, and then like after like 4.5 hours, the doctor comes in. We're gonna give you an ultrasound. It's like, okay, cool. So I turned on my phone, typed just enough to let people know that, hey, this is what's happening, and then it died. So, but at least I got word out.
Yeah, you did. You got word out, and thanks, Adrian, for being the point person this weekend, because the Trek community was all over it. We were like, what's going on? She was like, okay, if I need to, I'll drive out there. I'm like, okay, we'll pay for gas.
She's the shit.
She is the shit.
Oh my goodness, did not realize all that.
Oh yeah, you
Mike, there was a mobilization.
There was
I don't know
a
if you
total
realized.
mobilization going on. We were like, okay, who's point person? And she's like, okay, if I need to, I can drive out there. And I'm like,
the Federation and the Romulan Empire were all mobilized for humanitarian mission.
That's funny. She did say that she was ready to come out here, and I was like, no, my mom's here. It's fine. You don't have to worry. And
I'd rather have Adrian there than my mom.
Mobilization.
Mike, I'm just saying I'd rather have Adrian there than my mom, but that's
Oh, the kitty,
Lenny. Counted. Oh,
I know.
Now our audience is now doing the most adorable kitty pictures they can come up with, like trying to top one another, which means I'm just gonna squee forever.
That first one reminds me of Puss in Boots.
Yeah. Seriously, those big eyes. Okay, Nick, what did you do this week besides just get through the week?
I was in a class for work, so it took up it took up 3 days, which was good, and then Friday we celebrated because yesterday was the 239th birthday of the United States Army, HUA, and so at work we celebrated it on Friday, with all the things that cake and streamer ceremony, attaching the battle streamers and explaining what each one signified and what battles and all of that. So that was actually a good day. And then there was a big big flag football tournament with the units and everything. So it was a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad at least it was a decent week. Yeah, I can't complain. Mine was it was a long week, but it was a good week. I got work done, and that was that. I got work done.
I'm sorry. Matthew Anderson just posted, says Stephen Moffat, George R.R. Martin, and Joss Whedon walk into a bar, and everyone you ever loved dies.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You know why their stuff is good? Because they can tell a story.
That's right. You care about the characters, which is saying something.
Lanny and Sunset are having a cat showdown.
I know, it's awesome.
And Lanny just threw down the gauntlet.
Oh, Lanny just had the cat shark.
Oh, look how cute. Oh my God, I'm not sure if that cat is pissed or not. Okay.
It's a cat. Somebody put something on its head. Of course.
Funny. Okay, we got to stop watching the chat room. We're gonna
evidently Dave Mack is now posting in our room.
Going, what the fuck are they doing? All right, guess what, you guys? We have a shit ton to talk about this week. Oh my God, do you know how much news there is?
I saw that some new products came out this week.
Oh, there's so much news. Yes, there's so much news. Star Trek news. I am so proud to be a talkie geek.
We've got our problems with the film, which we'll get into on our dopey little podcast and nitpick it to death.
Star Trek news.
So congratulations to the always dreamy David Mack.
There's Legos?
No.
Star Trek news.
Yes, the story behind the story. The movie that never was made.
They got a Klingon.
I know.
Sold.
Klingon. That's right. I'm going to throw in a Buck Mackay rookie guard. That's right. A Buck Mackay for people. It doesn't get any bigger than this.
Star Trek news. How do we start? What do we start with the products?
Sure.
Because I'm sure
we're always looking for
let's start.
Stuff.
What did you say?
We're always looking for new stuff.
New stuff. Okay. Let's see. Okay, if we scroll all the way back to the D&T show. Click paste. All right. The first link is from a new product that they just posted. They've updated. We have new ice trays. I'm so excited.
Oh, cool.
The new Star Trek Ice Cube trays that have been released, you can buy them through StarTrek.com. I'm sure you can buy them through ThinkGeek and a few of your other favorite retailers. The new Ice Cube tray.
Did you say
features?
Ice Cream?
I did.
Nice.
I did. Ice Cream. Features 3 new shapes: the Vulcan Salute, the original Enterprise, as well as the TOS Delta with the Enterprise insignia on it. I guess that would be and insignia. Yeah, they're kind of cool. So that's the third tray that I have seen come out, which I think is kind of nifty. Another new product that came out, which I think is absolutely stunning, is a new Star Trek Enterprise jacket, Archer jacket. Lovely. It's very beautiful.
Oh, that is cool.
Isn't that nice? It's really, really well done. These are actually being made, let me see here. They're not a Novos.
Really? Interesting.
And if you happen to have $235,
I don't think they're a Novos. Yeah. It's $235. It features 4 patches. And then it's just a really, really pretty jacket. I really think it's pretty. And you can buy that through StarTrek.com. Mike, what other new products did you see?
Give me a minute to track them down.
Yeah, you hunt those down. I'm gonna this one particular site that I go to every so often, Nature World News, has a looping ad, and it drives me nuts, so I can hear it in the background. Some of the other new information that's been out going here. I'm not kidding you guys. There's so much stuff. We're gonna touch on some continues news. We're gonna touch on this one. I thought was pretty fun. Right when our show did not go forward last week, I saw this wonderful article about one of our current astronauts up in the International Space Station.
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. Isn't it very cool? Yeah. Steve Swanson, who is up in the ISS right now, he's very inspired by the Klingon Empire and designed the mission patch to be based on the Klingon logo. And unfortunately, it was not approved because NASA was afraid of trademark infringement. So they took elements that they had of it and then created a new patch from it. So you can no longer see direct Klingon influences, but as you can see the evolution of the mission patch, you can see where it was supposed to be there. But I do think it's kind of cute that NASA was appropriately frightened of the trademark infringement. But I don't think that CBS would have been that upset by it. Do you?
I think they would have been honored. I think that would be cool.
But I can appreciate their fear.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is he's wearing a Klingon T-shirt in space.
Yep, that's awesome. I did find the 2 products that I had seen this week. The first one is, I'm going to put it in the chat room now. It is Geordi and Data in their Sherlock Holmes get-ups. They're bobblehead type dolls. And let's see, it looks like it's going to be a Comic-Con exclusive item. But so if you're going to Comic-Con, you might want to snatch one of these up. They look so cool.
Oh my God, that's too funny. They're bookends.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's pretty funny.
And the second...
And what else did you see? I'm loving this. This is great. And these, again, can also be found at StarTrek.com.
Yes. I'm not sure what these are exactly, but Star Trek teams with ugly dolls.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means, but they're kind of cute in weird ways. They got Wave as Captain Kirk, Ox as Spock, Ice Bat as Scotty, Trey as Uhura, and Babo as Dr. McCoy. I have no idea what this means, but like
Ugly Doll's it's a brand.
TV show. It's a brand, isn't it? It's like Bratz or something like that.
No, yeah, it's like a brand of stuffed plush type toys that have a pretty big following.
That's wild. I want to see them.
Remember how Happy Bunny had? Remember Happy Bunny?
No.
It's the bunny you see everywhere, and it's like giving the peace sign, but it'll say something really offensive.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Interesting.
That's wild. I want to see the Michael.
I had linked in the chat room.
Oh, I have to refresh the chat room again. Flash Player is giving me grief today.
Oh, no.
There it is. Yeah, it really is. I think it's just because I have so many tabs open. I think I have 30 or 40 tabs open. So.
Oh, yeah, that would do it.
Oh,
she said.
That's kind of cute. Is it a cartoon?
As far as I know, it's just as far as I know, it's just the
It says more.
The doll.
They're kind of cute.
More information seems to be coming soon, so don't know exactly what this is.
Yeah, those are cute. All right.
All right, back to you, Terry.
I love this stuff. Okay. Okay, that. Let's get to there's been a couple of very funny, and I don't want to say controversial well, a couple of them are controversial, but one of the things that came out this week, does anybody follow or are friends with Mark Rademacher on Facebook? And for those who do not know who Mark Rademacher is, he's the designer of the Vesta, right? And sweet guy, amazing artist. I mean, just an amazing artist. For God knows how long, he's been working on a three-dimensional render of a concept of a model of a warp ship. And he's been doing this for a NASA physicist kind of as a fun project, where the physicist will say, oh, well, it would warp, nacelles would have to do this. And so for fun, they've been doing this project where Mark has been working on this render. And this render, I kid you not, a year ago, I saw the first render of it and I was so blown away by it. I said, okay, that's where, right? My whole thing about the captain's chair, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I said, okay, oh my God, there's my chair. That chair right there, that one's mine. No one else can have it. That's where I'm going to be doing it. That's my chair. And Mark and everybody else thought it was hilarious. And this was, like I said, more than a year ago. About a month ago, Mark posted a new render of it, which I have to admit, I actually made my mouth water. It was so fucking beautiful. And he sent it off to his friend, the physicist. And he happened to have been interviewed, and it wasn't IO9. Might have been something along those lines. But he was interviewed about his process for creating the art, about the actual rendering of the art. Well, somebody else, and that's what it was. IO9 read that interview and picked up on the fact that he was building this render, this concept art for a physicist at NASA who was, quote unquote, developing warp drive. And as the media is wont to do, they pick up and run with the wrong story. Instead of concept art is really cool, the story was NASA's developing warp drive.
Of course. But it looks awesome.
So for the past couple of weeks, I've been laughing as Mark has been posting article after article after article on Facebook going, okay, it just got out of hand and we're no longer in control. We can no longer tell people, no, there's always conceptual science going on. That's what NASA is supposed to be doing. But this was just concept art that I made for this person who asked me to essentially, he was paid, it was a commission. I just thought it was really funny. So
doesn't it remind you of the Vulcan ships?
Yes, and it was meant to be that way.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that's what I laugh at. The fact of the matter is that now every time somebody's posting, now people on Facebook have been actually taking Mark's photo from the news agencies and posting it as their new profile photo on Facebook, which is really kind of cool if you think about it. If you're an artist, for one of your pieces of art to go as a meme, to just kind of take over, he's thrilled. He's been very professional about it. But I've been going around to like Jody Wheeler, who's a director, and he posted that and he was like, oh, look at this, NASA's developing warp drive. I'm going, no, they're not. And that's my fucking seat. Get out of it. My seat right there. You can't have it. My seat. So he goes over to Mark Rademacher's page and says, no, that's my seat. And so we ended up having a bitch fight in Mark's Facebook page. It was pretty fun. So that is, and it's an amazing piece. So if you guys go over to, I think he's on DeviantArt as well. Follow Mark Rademacher's site because he's got multiple views of this ship.
Everybody likes
so
multiple.
It is a very pretty design.
Let's follow up on the Hollywood Science Fiction Museum, shall we?
Sure.
This week, the Hollywood Science Fiction Museum picked up a little bit of steam. One of the local, space.com.
Not literally, people. I mean,
no,
people, the chatter about it exploded.
Right. And the reason why is because all of those big names that are part of this board of directors are finally starting to talk about it. And if they're starting to talk about it, that means people are going, oh, they're really involved. Because let's face it, throwing somebody's name and picture up there does not necessarily mean they're really involved.
Yeah,
we were all kind of like...
Yeah, that's how my face gets plastered everywhere. And I keep telling the authorities, I was not really involved.
If I can find what I just put. Oh, there it is. Ronald D. Moore was interviewed by Space.com, and there's a very interesting little backstory to this. And come to find out, Ron Moore got a call from Mike Okuda at the end of Star Trek The Next Generation and said, hey, dude, they're throwing stuff out. Do you want to come and pick stuff up? So Moore ran to the lot.
You just picture Ron Moore
You just
running across the lot.
Michael Kuda calling
Get out of
everyone.
the way!
Get out of you! Michael Kuda, you can totally hear it, can't you? Michael Kuda, dude, they're throwing stuff away. Yeah.
Oh, and Mike Okuda, who, this would be him excited. Hey, Ron, thought you might want to know. They're throwing stuff away.
So Ronald D. Moore got to the lot, and he got to retrieve all of those gold medal Enterprises from the filming of First Contact. I know!
Oh, nice.
That would be behind my wet bar in the house.
No shit, wouldn't they? I'm like, and he put them in storage. I want to know who got, well, I think Livingston went to a good home. So he ended up with all of those things, plus a bunch of other stuff, and he put them all into storage. So there are some items that are being held by these people who are on the board that will become a part of the Hollywood Science Fiction Museum, should it ever become a reality. So really what Ronald D. Moore is looking for is a new way to store his stuff. I meant that with love, but I did think it was kind of funny.
I'm sure he's also got to have some BSG stuff.
Yeah, exactly, right? So that's going to be that's very interesting. But it was kind of neat to see him interviewed by Space.com and telling that great story about where he got his stuff. Everybody knows that the Reading Rainbow Kickstarter is still going strong. They have not yet reached their $5 million secondary
Are they
goal.
up to 10 million yet?
I know. But one of the things that LeVar Burton was able to do for a stretch goal, which I think is getting cool, is he's getting together a bunch of the people from TNG to do a live Reading Rainbow for your children.
Actually, it's not just TNG. I believe Shatner's even.
Oh, there is Shatner too. That's right.
Oh.
Can you imagine?
Shatner needs to read Dr. Seuss.
and Kate Mulgrew. I want her to do it as Red, though.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Squirrel, did you watch?
No.
God.
No. I didn't. But
you did, Mike?
I did that the first day.
How fucking awesome was that season?
I liked the first one better. I thought the individual character stories were better, but I liked the season overall.
Yeah. Oh, I like the backstories. The showing the backstories of everybody.
Well, we were seeing different characters.
Yeah, pretty awesome stuff.
We weren't seeing the same characters we had seen last season. So it was different. So like I said, in my opinion, I like some of the characters that we saw last season.
Terry, there's a lot of red.
I know.
I know.
Yeah,
a lot.
Let's put it this way. I can see it on Tumblr. The Kickstarter.
It's a much darker season too. Would you agree, Mike?
Oh yeah.
But the final 30 seconds of the finale. Oh my God, I was clapping. I was like that meme or from the Family Guy where the dude is clapping and jumping up and down. Because there's a character I hate. I have not hated a character on TV in a long time. Like really, just hated a character. Not that the fact that they were on the show, but the character.
Yeah.
I hated this character.
And the character gets what he or she deserved?
I'm not spoiling anything.
I think she deserved it.
Far worse.
But she got it.
She deserved to be asked if there were 4 lights or 5.
Wow.
Yeah, let's just put it like that.
Okay, cool.
But Mommy Kate is unbelievable this season. I really I think it's Emmy worthy nomination.
Oh,
I don't know if it's worth a win.
Type of moment in there too.
I'm sure it will be. Well, back to the Kickstarter real quick.
Yes.
Well, it fits though.
Lanny, we know. We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it, honey. We're going to get to it. Oh my God. See, I told you there's a lot of news.
Our audience has become very demanding.
I know. It's like, no, we want to hear about this now.
Sensei will puts up her yawning stuff when she doesn't like what we're talking about. Lanny yelling at us. And then, of course, Steve. He's going to remind us 5 billion times about what we already know we have to talk about.
And don't worry, we got him. I had those links ready too, Steve.
I know.
That's why I have 40 tabs open today.
When did we become Jerry Springer?
Well,
audience
they're
yelling
not throwing
at us.
chairs yet. Yeah, they're not throwing chairs. By the
That's
way, the
because
Reading
Mike's
Rainbow,
hospitalized.
the Reading Rainbow Kickstarter is now up to $3.7, almost $3.8 million. They have 17 days to go to reach their next goal, which is a stretch goal, which is $5 million. And
They're
again,
still over halfway, right? They haven't reached the halfway mark yet.
Right,
so
right.
That's
And
pretty good.
one of the new campaign donations, if you donate $1,200, which I know is a lot, but you can go to one of the events, which will be all of the people. Let's see who he's got. He's got Jonathan Frakes, Brent Spiner, William Shatner, Patrick Stewart, Kate Mulgrew to do a live reading events in both New York and Los Angeles.
LeVar, if I had $1,200, that's like 2 months of rent. I would. Just saying.
But there's people out there who've got it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just saying, if you've got it and you want to blow it on something fun, do it because it will go to a worthy cause.
It will.
So there. Okay.
Speaking of reading, I finished Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere yesterday. It was one of those times where I finished a book. I read the last word. And then I reread the last paragraph, and then I kind of felt really down because I was done with the book.
Oh, yeah.
And just kind of sat there for a little bit because I enjoyed it so damn much. Yeah, highly recommend Neverwhere.
Cool.
I've been doing reading too, but we can talk about that in a minute.
I was going to say, we're going to talk about the books because, Mike, I was like, you finished a book, yes?
I finished 3 books.
Okay.
And that was in the ER alone.
I'm sure. Well, for those people who were lucky enough to attend the Denver Comic Con and Literary Conference, a program of comic book classrooms designed to promote literacy through pop culture, announced today it will host a reunion of Star Trek: The Next Generation to be moderated by William Shatner. The ticketed panel also includes Jonathan Frakes, LeVar Burton, Denise Crosby, Michael Dorn, Gates McFadden, and Marina Sirtis. That will be held last week. It was last night. It was.
There you go. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Did you see Gates McFadden posting the Dr. Crusher doll in the field?
Her mini me?
Yeah.
What about it? What did she do?
Yesterday on Twitter, she was posting so much. It was hilarious.
Well, it has its own Twitter and Tumblr page. It has its own Tumblr page. It's so funny. I love that she posts as her. It's very cute. We do have some interesting news. There we go. This is our friends over at Roddenberry's Mission Log podcast have been picked up and are now essentially, I don't want to say syndicated, but they have a new home where you can pick up and listen to them. And that's trekmovie.com. For those of you who do not know, our other friend, Kayla Iacavino, is now acting editor at trekmovie.com. And so trekmovie.com is kind of coming back to life again, which is nice to see. And we're also very pleased by the partnership that they have undertaken with Roddenberry's Mission Log podcast. So you can head over to Roddenberry.com or to trekmovie.com if you want to listen to Mission Log, which is a great podcast with John Champion where they do rewatches. Really? Wouldn't you call that, Mike?
That's pretty much what they're doing. They're rewatching and trying to get to the spirit of the episode in today's world.
Right, and it's a very fun cast, and we love them very much, and hope to see them, and we'll see John at least for the first, or for the again at Star Trek Las Vegas. But I know that the Empress herself, Mary Shawini, leaving us halfway through the convention. I know, but she's
she's the Empress. She can go where she wants.
She can go where she wants. That's right. So yay for Roddenberry.
And how many days are we until? Well, we'll get to that.
I was gonna say so much stuff. Scott D. Pierce posted a. Okay, let's start. Shall we start with a big controversy last week, which I have to say I feel kind of bad for Larry and what happened. But last week,
hilarious.
Big brouhaha. If you missed it, then you missed it. Let me tell you, it was a big brouhaha. Last week, after the Phoenix Comic Con convention, a unnamed individual.
You didn't need to say convention.
I didn't. It was redundant. It was the Department of Redundancy department. And Larry was an unnamed individual posted what appeared to be a pretty quote-unquote professional column.
Looking at you, Lanny.
On Google+. And this person named themselves Starfleet Intelligence and posted
I've seen a lot of rumors come out from this.
Oh my God, it was just really, really bad.
Star
Essentially,
Gadfly. They should be Starfleet Gadfly is what they should be.
Starfleet, troll. Troll under the bridge. That would be a better name for them. Troll under the bridge. And play on words, folks. And they posted this article saying that based on what Larry Nemecek said during the Phoenix Comic-Con, that Netflix was in quote-unquote lucrative discussions with CBS to start a new Star Trek series. Everybody flipped out. Is that the best?
Well, and didn't they also worded it so that he said he shouldn't say this or something, so it appeared that it was a slip, the way they did this.
It was so bad. It was so bad. I don't even want to link to this person's Google. I don't even want to link to the original because I don't want to give him the click. I really don't want to give him the click. That's or her. We don't even know him or her.
We don't want to give it.
We don't want to give it. That's right. The clicks because that's all this was it's troll. It was trolling through and through. Now, Alan,
I'm not even mad. I'm impressed by this.
Oh, I was laughing my ass off. Well, at first I thought it was serious. I was like, "Holy crap, Larry, dude, you scored." Yeah.
Well,
I really
thought
that
I had read it and I tweeted it out, and in the same breath, in the same tweet, I said, "Larry, confirmation, please."
Thank you. And let's just put it this way: poor Larry spent the next 2 days sending out non-confirmation tweets, posts. He posted on his own Trekland website and pretty much poo-pooed everything that this person had to say.
Larry was in White House like spin control.
It was in total spin control because he has a relationship with CBS, and I can imagine how horrified he must have been to think, oh my God, does CBS think I said this now? I mean, really?
Yeah, this asshat just totally ruined it for Larry.
It was just, I was horrified for him. I really was. So I posted a new fan dance here at the G&T Show website. And so if you want to know exactly what happened, I kind of went through everything and then gave everybody another warning. And that is, first and foremost, if there's going to be a new series, coming out, is it possible that Larry Nemecek would be the person who gets to announce it? Possibly.
Oh, I love Larry to tears.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they would have him announcing it at Phoenix Comic-Con. No offense to Phoenix Comic-Con. None at all.
Right.
But STLV would be where they would announce it.
I would think that they would announce it
like that, or Comic-Con.
I would think that, either San Diego Comic-Con or Star Trek Las Vegas. That's where something like, if they're going to do a public announcement like that at all, chances are, knowing how CBS has worked in the past, considering they're a public company, how are they going to announce it? They're going to announce it to see, let's see how many people we can get to buy stock in us now. They're going to do it by sending out a press release to all of the major press houses, AP, Reuters, Forbes.
Variety and Hollywood Reporter.
Fortune.
Above all.
Variety, Hollywood Reporter. All of so they're going to hit the entertainment sites.
Right. Yeah.
Entertainment sites and exactly. They're going to hit the pop culture stuff. Entertainment sites and stockholder sites. That's where that news is going to get hit. It's going to go big and it's going to be released all at one huge momentous time. And you know what? If it was Netflix if Netflix was involved, it would be a combined press release. CBS and
they
Netflix
wouldn't do it in JJ fashion.
It's going to be so formal. It's not going to be a slip of a tongue by somebody on stage at a convention that isn't even owned or even licensed by their own. I mean, sorry, they're going to have that kind of control. Now, that's what I'm saying is that if it was Larry that was saying, hey, he gets to make the big news, it would be, oh my God, you guys have to be in this room. We are going to make a big announcement. And boom, Larry would make the announcement. And then the moment that his mouth opened up, I can tell you that the posting of that press release would be made simultaneously. That's how big and how tight his legal departments and marketing departments are. They're going to make.
Not to mention that we had talked to Larry like 2 weeks weeks ago.
Mhm.
He would have told us.
He would have told us, keep your ears peeled.
Big announcement at Phoenix.
Right.
Pay attention.
And why
Much
did
like
they do
Keith
this?
told us that he was working on something, but he couldn't tell us what. And now we know that he got the tie-in for Sleepy Hollow.
Right. And why do they do this? They do this because they need to, and I kid you not, how dead serious they are. They need to keep insider trading from occurring.
Mhm.
So it has to be a well-kept secret, and it has to be done at one time. And if they can provide and show to the SEC that they've adhered to all the guidelines, that insider trading has been stymied at all possible in all possible ways, then everything's okay. I kid you, when a big announcement like this comes out, there's actually an inter-office memo that goes out to every single employee who owns stock and says, you are no longer allowed to trade your stock until such and such a date. And then when the announcement comes out, then you're allowed to trade, because the rest of the public is allowed to trade based on that information as well. So there.
Interesting.
If a big announcement's going to come out like this, mark my words, you're going to hear a rumor there's a big announcement coming out. Why? Because the people who own stock in the company have been told, I can't trade until such and such a day. There must be an announcement coming out. That's exactly how it works. So there you go, folks. Pay attention, look for press releases, look for official documentation from
You're speaking.
CBS.com, or any
I think you
other
had a solar
entity
flare
that might
there,
be
Terry.
affiliated. What?
I think you had a solar flare.
I do. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh, so pay attention. Look for official documentation.
And
All right,
Larry,
Rand-
if you do get an announcement like that you ever get to make, remember your friends at the
Please come
GT
to us.
show as your
Come
first
over.
stop. Boomer Sooner.
Do we have more news?
Yeah, but
Okay.
but I'm down to like 9 tabs.
That's good. All right.
What else? Scott Pierce we talked about. Oh, we're down to 7 tabs. Oh, shall we? That'll go with the con. All right. Let's pitch. Okay, big news coming out it's going on 8 o'clock Mountain Time, so that's 7 o'clock Pacific. In 2 hours, the next episode of Star Trek Continues will be released on Vimeo. It was released last night in Australia. I haven't heard anything yet, but I'm so excited. Have you guys heard any rumors?
Fucking Australians.
I know, they totally rate, bastard.
Baz. I don't throw Woody into that because we like Woody.
James Kerwin posted last night on Facebook, in 2 minutes, the episode of the official Star Trek Continues, which I directed and co-wrote, Fairest of Them All, will premiere in Sydney, Australia. And tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time, it will be live on Vimeo for all to see. I'm so excited.
So you think it's going to crash the Vimeo server?
I had heard a rumor about Star Trek Continues. Actually, it's not really a rumor. It's actually Michael Dorn's in it.
Yes, he is.
Which I'm surprised that he didn't get, a mention. But he's probably got some tiny role.
Look, that's cool. Michael Dorn's in a lot of things. Kipley Brown is in it.
I know what role he plays.
Kipley Brown is in it. Screw Michael Dorn. Kipley's in it.
I know what role he plays. And because it's already been released in Australia, I guess I can say it because the people in Australia are probably already talking.
No, don't say anything.
Oh, come on.
No.
All right.
Terry, Alan, control your woman.
Jackie, right in that. Okay, this is a mirror episode, correct?
Yes, with Kipley.
Yes, with Kipley.
Yes.
And she's looking amazing.
Yeah, Mel. Hi, there's air.
And all I will say is that if you don't, I can say it without showing. If you know who Marina Sirtis plays in the first 2 episodes, he is her mirror counterpart.
Oh, okay. He's a computer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because in the original episode, Mirror Mirror, it was a male voice for the computer.
That makes sense. That's awesome, though.
So that's who he plays in Star Trek Continues episode 3.
Lanny, don't be hateful.
James told me that like 2 months ago, and I was under wraps. I couldn't tell a soul. I was like, oh, he goes, not until it gets released. I'm like, damn, dude.
And from the stills I've seen, damn, Vic looking buff.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Just saying.
I'm excited. That's awesome.
And so is Terry, but not for the same reason, Mike.
He's looking good.
Yeah, but Kipley's in it.
Dude, it says Kojiro Vance left the conversation. Is he coming down the hallway now?
Yeah, he's coming down with his flogger. It's Mirror Universe Allen. So Mirror Universe Allen would be clean shaven then, right?
Yes.
and Casey and Chloe would be normal.
Oh my God.
It's true. Oh my God.
Well,
Yes.
since we're talking about fan productions real quick.
Yes.
Phase 2 got funded.
Yay! Congratulations, James. For the whole thing? Even for their goal for the
they didn't reach
storage
the
area?
90. They reached the 64,917.
Awesome.
So out of what they asked for was 10,000, they got 64. So that is fantastic.
That's wonderful.
That's awesome.
That is. Congratulations, James. And also, the trailer for Star Trek Axanar came out this week.
Oh,
you guys,
yeah.
Did you see that? Holy shit.
Trailer to Axanar, I think it's kind of like a documentary after the fact.
No.
That's kind of the impression I'm getting.
That's what I got, that they were doing like an oral interview.
Yeah.
Oral history.
And
I see what you're saying. You mean the actual, well, the trailer looks like interviews with like the J.J. Hertzler character and the Tony Todd character
Did not recognize Richard Hatch.
Yeah, Richard Hatch is the Klingon.
Really well done.
Very well done. And I like the fact that he's not overplaying the character. Like so many people, especially in voice actors. Hey, Star Trek Online, your voice actors for Klingons, just telling you, they all have to act like this.
Exactly. I know. It took me for Kate Vernon.
K-Lard never sounded like that.
Kate Vernon looking really cool as a Starfleet officer. Yes. I've been a Kate Vernon fan for a long time.
It's just looking more and more amazing. The quality of some of these unofficial productions are just astounding. Horizons looks amazing. Axanar is amazing. Continues is amazing. Phase 2 is getting better and better and better. And I'm blown away. I'm absolutely
Axanar
blown
looks
away.
almost as good as Sharknado.
Oh.
Dude. It looks so much better than Sharknado.
Did you see that there's a Sharknado 2, the second one?
No.
That's what they're calling it. It's gonna be set in New York City, and there's like actual big stars that are gonna have cameos in it because everybody loved the first one so much.
Oh my.
Why do people not embrace the cheese? There is a place for the cheese.
Yes, and I enjoyed it for the cheese factor.
Exactly.
No disputing there.
Look at Terry stewing now over Sharknado.
There is a place for the cheese. I just choose not to watch it, so we're good.
No, right? I understand that, but there's a definite place for the drive-in movie.
Did you see what Dayton had posted on his Facebook page? I think it was a photo of, Sharktopus.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Dayton.
I was going to say, speaking of Dayton,
and we're done with the Star Trek news right now, so
a belated happy birthday to the beautiful Kevin Dilmore.
Wasn't Dayton's birthday a few days prior to that as well?
Who cares?
Well, happy birthday to them both.
Happy Star Trek birthday to Dayton Ward, because he's 47 now, so.
Yep.
It was. Isn't it funny that those two, their birthday is so close as well?
And an interesting fact, but Kevin Dilmore is my birthday twin. We share birthday.
I noticed that.
That's
and happy
cool.
birthday to you too, Mikey.
Oh, thank you.
I sang to Mike in Klingon.
I sent him money.
Which
I sang to Mike in Klingon. That'll last forever.
My gift was better than your gift.
I got a Klingon bird of prey with it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
See, he's already said that. He's got my gift in his head forever.
That's true. This is true.
I will never forget it because it's giving me nightmares.
Well, before we get on to our new block of convention news, why don't we do our wonderful Ask Dayton? All right. And that way Mikey can stretch his legs.
Yes.
Did you see who's here?
No.
Our special guest this week, none other than the man, the myth, the legend, author extraordinaire. Just ask him, Dayton Ward.
Up in here.
He's delicious.
The man is a sage.
Dayton Ward is here. Hi, Dayton.
Hello, Dayton.
Hello, Newman.
And Mark just handed him his complimentary gin and tonic for the G&T show, so that's always good.
That's good.
Firefly vodka. See, if we knew he was coming, we would have taken him to the green room with the green women.
God damn it, go read the Ask Dayton.
Oh, Dayton.
Oh, Dayton. Dayton Ward is Grumpy Cat.
Dayton Ward, troller of trolls. He's such a diva.
Pay attention, Ask Dayton fans. Everybody got their pad and pencil ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Would you like to be a part of the Ask Dayton experience?
Send your questions to hosts@gntshow.com.
This is Ask Dayton number 101.
Woohoo!
And I'm now stretching as I wait for it to open up. There it is. It's Ask Dayton number 101, the one after 100. Good day, Dayton. First of all, I would like to send my congratulations on making the 100 marks of Ask Dayton. And now for the 101st Ask Dayton question to you. If Dayton Ward was a college subject, what would be the curriculum for Dayton Ward? Regards.
Oh, that's a good question.
I really think Dayton's starting to hate our audience, though. And here's why. Here's
it's
his
a
answer.
love-hate relationship.
Here's his answer.
He loves to hate them.
I really, really need to reevaluate how I spend my Sunday mornings. You know, higher education in America is pretty damn expensive, and I think we all can agree that the very thought of someone even considering the investment of both time and money towards a course where I am the central topic is fucking scary. Can you just imagine the conversations with the parents when the kid tries to explain that? Yeah, the entire syllabus is devoted to personal history, his books, his obsessions with vodka, bacon, porn, and Batman, and all of the resulting psychoses which have plagued him throughout his life. Also, he can be pretty damned funny when he actually puts some effort into it. No, this is way better than taking software development or business management class. This is something I'll actually be able to use after I graduate. Fuck you, kid. Go join the military or Walmart. But for the sake of argument, let's delve into this a bit, shall we?
Yeah, please.
I suppose any decent course about yours truly would have to include an examination of my life story, and how as an infant I was rocketed from my dying homeworld in a ship built by my parents, and how I suffered a horrific crash upon my arrival on Earth that necessitated my body being augmented with cybernetic enhancements. All of this happened after I successfully fled the tyrannical rule of an alien race bent on annihilating all traces of humanity from the universe. But then it all went to shit one day when I was bitten by a radioactive spider at daycare. My foster parents nearly went broke keeping me in diapers which could contain the radioactive web sap shooting out of my ass. I mean, all of that would just be chapter 1 in the course textbook, Daytonetics, an imprecise examination of the man and his engorged and ultimately destructive sense of self-worth.
Oh my God, he's starting his own religion?
Daytonomics, people. The class would also almost certainly involve an in-depth review and critical analysis of my past works. But to get the full effect, we'd have to look through the entire bibliography, wouldn't we? The course would have to journey beyond things like pithy Star Trek novels and truly deep dive into some of my lesser-known literary efforts. We're talking about things like the stories I wrote for children's writing course I took several years ago, or the absolutely putrid scribblings, which are the first tales I wrote in school. Lucky for me, none of that shit exists anymore in any format. All copies have been destroyed and all the witnesses have been silenced. What else is there?
On that.
What else is there? I suppose we could dig up some of my old fan fiction, or the stuff I used to write for Trek-themed newsletters. Some of that has never seen the light of day and is buried in a pressurized vault beneath the surface of an unnamed ocean. More easily obtainable are the stories I wrote under a host of pen names for a handful of publications, including 1 or 2 of the adult entertainment variety. Hey, don't laugh. That was some of the easiest money I've ever made. Why'd I do it? To see if I could do it and get paid.
Yeah.
It was harder than I thought it'd be, but everything just slid right into place.
Oh! Well
See what
played.
I did there?
Well played.
As for the legacy I may leave behind that future scholars might find worthy of study, we probably shouldn't leave out a comprehensive evaluation of my service to humanity. There has to be at least a chapter or two's worth of material of all the times I saved Earth from extra-dimensional demons, viral outbreaks, and the horrific Star Trek My Little Pony, Devil and Miss Jones crossover Kevin Dilmore nearly pitched one night in a fit of drunken misadventure.
He probably would have sold.
Shouldn't Kevin have his own, subsection of this course? I'm just saying. Dayton, way to leave him out for the most part. And I suppose no assessment is complete and able to call itself a balanced critique without mentioning the lasting impact I've had with the peoples of the world, thanks to the atrocities I've inflicted upon the printed page, such as the various cities and countries where I'm no longer welcome. My crimes against the written word are viewed with such contempt by a number of sovereign nations that they've issued bounties for my capture and extradition. In some realms, even the simple uttering of my name in a public by any citizen is a death penalty offense. So there you have it. Daytonetics 101. It's your money, but if it were me, I'd use it to enroll in something useful like video game design, mini golf course management, or tramp stamps, art for the plebeian class. Happy learning, yo.
I love
Thank you,
Dayton.
Dayton.
Thank you. That was awesome.
That's cool.
Oh,
Thank you.
I needed the mid-show laugh. God, I love him so much. Thank you, Dayton. So, shall we talk a little bit about, oh my God, all the cons?
Sure, we can.
Oh, okay. I say apparently it's not as exciting as I thought.
I'm catching my breath.
Oh, I bet.
I'm lightheaded.
You stood up too fast, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you take your time. I'll talk as always. There we go. All right.
Shall we just start right off the bat with a Las Vegas update?
Are we still talking Vegas, right?
We are.
Talking about Vegas.
Yes. You're coming to Vegas, right?
Star Trek Las Vegas may take place every August, but on this show...
This is where we hang out the rest of the year.
Exactly.
The crew has been fatigued now from so many months in space, and they need to take a break. The landing party has beamed down to check out the terrain while the crew gets ready to play. They say there's only plant life living on this lovely rock, but a rodent appears wearing a vest.
Well, do we want to do them in order? Is the first one will be STLV?
Oh, then I'm not doing them in order.
Oh, then do.
I'm doing DSTL.
When is that one? When is that one?
Oh, when is that one? That one is
October.
Well, why don't we do that one last then and make someone sweat it out a little more?
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah.
You want to start off with Las Vegas then?
Yeah, do it with Las Vegas, and then we'll go to the other news.
Las Vegas.
And then to the other news. And that way he's sitting there pounding his keyboard now going, "You bastards!"
All right, starting off with Star Trek Las Vegas. Let's do it. Oh my God, 98 people.
Wow,
98
they really
celebrities
are closing in on the 100.
They really are. They really, really
if they would invite us, they would go to 101.
Do not forget the GNT show will be there in force, and we have a big booth. And Kipley Brown from Star Trek Continues, and Yesterday Was a Lie will be our guest. She will be signing there. Also, appearing at our table whenever he feels like it is author Mark Cushman.
Yes.
Who will be bopping back and forth between the G&T show booth.
And that's a big man to be bopping.
And the Jacobs Brown Press booth where the These Are the Voyages TOS will be pitched and sold. And Mark he's already so sweet. He goes, people can buy the book at the booth and then they can bring it over to me at the G&T show and I'll sign it over there.
He's awesome.
He's really awesome.
For those that haven't seen yet, our supplemental log with Mark is up, and we could go awesome for days with him. It's such a good guy.
It was so much fun.
He's really here. As a matter of fact, I'll put a link for the Mark Cushman interview in our chat room, so
and
you can
in
bookmark
in a discussion last night with the always lovely Ari Roy, she's going to be stopping by to say hello. So that's worth the price of coming over to our booth as well to see Ari.
Ari rocks.
She's awesome.
She is awesome. And let's see what else. So the Star Trek Las Vegas. Who else? Let's see who they've announced since the last time.
It's not Ann B. Davis. Oh. Too soon? Is that too soon? I don't know why I just thought of Ann B. Davis.
Dude. I'm like, I have to confess, I was surprised she was alive.
Thank you.
My brain thought that she had passed quite a long time ago.
You're not alone. When that news happened, I was like, wait,
whoa.
She died a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I looked at the date of because some, how they've been doing that. Rue McClanahan, for some reason, she died 4 years ago, but her death announcement kind of went live again. Saying,
she
that's
just died. What I thought.
I'm like, dude, she's been dead for 4 years. And sure enough, the date on the article was 4 years old. Whatever. So strange.
Well, I saw somebody real quick. I saw the best troll ever. This week, World Wrestling Entertainment released a handful of wrestlers, about 6 or 7 wrestlers. That they do that because they're not using them or as a cost-saving thing, things like that. Well, their champion, he's not the champion right now, just had neck surgery, and this was not a gimmick or anything. He really did have neck surgery. For people that think that the surgeries are gimmicks, they're not. These guys destroy their bodies.
Yeah.
Well, an announcement went out that he had been released, which has a total air of truth to it because he just had this neck surgery and everything. And then if you looked real closely, it was from 4 years ago when he was released back then. But for a little bit, there was some major... You know how our feeds blow up when there's Star Trek news? Well, my wrestling feeds blew up because everybody... What? No, are you kidding? That's it. They're stupid. Their stocks are going to play... Yeah, no. Somebody trolled the internet again.
Yep, that's how it happens.
And that's how it happens. So well done because it was perfect timing in the week when they released a whole shitload of people. And then to put it out on like a Friday night, and if you know public relations, when do you release your worst news? On on a Friday night because the news cycle is not going to pick it up, or it'll be way minimized. If you all follow politics, follow when like the White House puts out bad news,
and also follow out when corporations put out bad news. Same thing. Yeah. They want their stockholders to not pay attention.
Friday at 4:45 it goes out. Right?
It's true.
Oh, Andrew Wonders is here.
Layoffs
Delayed
happen
happy
Friday
birthday,
afternoon.
Andrew.
Right. Layoffs happen either the last day of the quarter or on Friday afternoons. That's just how it happens. So again, Star Trek Las Vegas, 98 Star Trek related guests and counting. They have also announced what else? The board bingo is back.
Oh God!
Which actually is pretty kind of cool. I think they have like $10,000 in prizes.
Oh, hello!
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
So Eric Allen Hall cannot play.
Since we really go to town with the prizes, and in the past have offered upwards of $10,000 worth. It's a lot of fun and camaraderie. It is occurring on the Thursday night of the convention. So if you do not have a gold passport and you're looking for something to do before you go to the Star Trek Continues midnight showing,
or the karaoke,
then you can go to Borg Bingo. Again, the Nevada Pops is playing. The
and
Rat
if you all
Pack
didn't
will be
listen
playing.
to our supplemental log on convention prep, I've had a lot of people contact me who have never downloaded our show before, but have listened to that one with the marketing that we did for it. So please, to our audience, please share when these things are released.
Yeah, please do.
Because some of you in here are very good at putting up kitten videos during chat, but never retweet or post when our show goes out. We could grow even more, and then we become more divish.
Are we?
We would be. Mike would be. Come on. He's already demanding a case of blood wine every week in his dressing room. Did you hear him now? His latest demand
we
for a new
totally
personal
owe Dayton
assistant?
Firefly. Huh?
Mike now wants a personal assistant.
Okay. Steve?
Wow. Oh, man.
I'm just kidding.
No, that was awesome. Can I have Sunsail?
See? Look at him. All right. The next one up is, or we're going to go with that one, right?
Yeah.
Baltimore Comic Con.
Let Nick take that one.
Yes, the G&T show will be officially at Baltimore Comic Con with as press. Yeah. We contacted them this week. Well, Mike contacted them this week, and Mike? Within 18 hours, we had a press pass.
I moved heaven and earth.
You did, sir.
Mike
truly
sent
did.
Email. He sent an email. But
he sent more than one email.
Yeah, our numbers are something that they sat up and took notice. Correct, Mike?
I think they did a spit take.
Yeah. And here's something to show that we're not just patting ourselves on the back, which we could do for the growth that we've had, but they double checked. Am I correct, Mike?
Oh yeah, they wanted evidence,
and so they did their due diligence, which awesome on them.
Yep.
So Baltimore Comic Con, September 5th, 6th, and 7th in Baltimore, Maryland. It's huge. It's America's greatest comic book convention is how they're calling it. Let me give you the list of some of the names.
Wait, before you do that, you have one job. Even though you have a press pass, you have one job, and that is you need to get me David Peterson's autograph.
All right.
Mouse Guard. David Peterson, who does Mouse Guard, is going to be there, and I'm so excited. So
now, for some of our listeners, I can already see Sunsail spinning in her chair, are not going to recognize some of these names. Others will be like, what? I'm just going through Dave Bullock, Greg Capullo, John Cassidy, Jeremy Bastian, Sean Chen, Jimmy Chung, Frank Cho. That's a big one right there. Alan Davis, Tommy Lee Edwards, Garth Ennis, Ray Fawkes. Speaking of which, Terry, have you seen the trailer for Constantine?
No.
Somebody please put that in the chat room so that Terry can see it. It's going to be on NBC this fall.
Oh wait, maybe?
It's based on the comic book.
No, I haven't seen it yet then, no.
Oh my God. It's David Mack's going to be there. Hold on, people.
Not our
David Allen Mack, but David Mack of Kabuki fame,
right.
Who David Allen Mack is often, they get each other's emails.
They do. The David Mack, the comic book artist, and David Allen Mack, the writer, often get confused by their following, their constituent. Very cute.
This is a huge event, and I'm very excited that we're going. And we got 2 press passes. So myself, when I gave the news, there was much squeeing.
I'm very excited. Nice. It's going to be fun to have you guys post and cover for us at the convention.
I can't wait to cover the costume contest.
I know it's going to be a blast. It's going to be an absolute blast.
As a matter of fact, I'm hoping that some of the people that I watch every week on Heroes of Cosplay are there because that would be kind of cool. And by the way, I got to give a shout out here. I heard Terry roll her eyes when I said Heroes of Cosplay. If you want to follow somebody hilarious and absolutely totally interactive, they're called Crab Cat Industries. It's Holly Conrad and Jessica Marzipan. Now they're cosplayers, but they also do work. The Crab Cat is like they did work with a trailer with Guillermo del Toro for the Pacific Rim. So they are like Abbott and Costello. They're like Dayton and Kevin for our audience. And every week after Heroes of Cosplay airs on the West Coast on YouTube on their channel, they do an after show, which is definitely not sanctioned by Sci-Fi or NBC Universal, because they have their alcohol of the week involved, and they are just two of the most adorable, hilarious, and absolutely engaging people. And just a shout out to Crab Cat Industries, because they are hilarious.
Cool.
And it's good because they tell you the things that go on that don't make it to air. And like they really do, for this reality thing, they really do tell you how the sausage is made. Because like one of the things they said is cosplay is not about the competition. But unfortunately, TV needs a hook. So they follow the people that enter the competitions. But that leaves behind all of the truly social aspects of it.
Right.
And really, the competition, a lot of people enter knowing they're not going to win, but they just want to get up there and let people see what they spent a year working on.
Right.
Which, and it's amazing.
It's amazing how money talks, just saying.
Yeah, but it's like $300. And then they were saying...
you think it's $300?
On some of these conventions.
$300 for these people? Yeah. Well, you know what?
No,
it's $300 for the people who compete. Huh?
I'm talking about the prize.
Is $300. The pretending that somehow it's about the competition, that's a shit ton more money.
Oh, yeah. Using that as the hook.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Because unfortunately, I don't think the public would buy. But it has done a lot to raise.
I would just never do that to myself.
We have a lot of friends that cosplay.
Yes. But I would never stoop so low as to turn cosplay into, I don't know. I have absolutely no respect for them. None. Like, okay, yeah, I don't like reality shows. I don't like what it does to people, and I think it tears down
what about Face
made
Off?
Cosplay great.
Is Face Off a reality show or a game show?
Game show.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
I wasn't asking to be sarcastic. I was thinking out loud there.
And even the creature one.
Yes, that's a game
Jim
show.
Henson.
That was
Jim
a game
Henson.
show. Yeah.
Well, then Survivor isn't a reality show. It's a game show.
Correct.
Isn't Big Brother then?
Yes.
Because they're competing for
cash.
$1 million
cash
or
money.
whatever.
Survivor, same thing. The Voice.
Yeah.
Those are game shows.
Yeah, that's more your old style talent show.
But reality shows are like.
But Survivor is classified as a reality show.
Reality shows are like Deadliest Catch or Lizard Boys or Gator Dudes or
Don't pick on Deadliest Catch.
Duck Douches and
Don't
whatever.
pick on Deadliest Catch.
I'm picking on Deadliest Catch.
That's not scripted.
That is so scripted. I'm sorry.
Really, the people dying is scripted
You
that
know
are
what?
really dead?
The fact of the matter is, would you work for somebody like that? Then you deserve to. I'm sorry. But nobody should ever have to work for a douchebag. And I realize it's like,
nobody
I've got this, whatever.
Sometimes
it's a bunch of bullshit is what
Wait a minute. What do you mean nobody should ever have to? There's plenty of bosses out there that are douchebags.
And they should be sued to high heaven.
Oh, it's going to happen. Don't worry.
There's the reality show I want to see is when all of these people get sued. I want to see the lawsuit that came out of those deaths. I'm just saying.
I mean, let's face it. Gene Roddenberry was a douchebag to work for, especially if you were a woman.
And if he was today, he would totally be sued.
Oh, yeah, he wouldn't get away with that today.
Yeah, I was going to say, come on, though.
I mean, let's be honest.
He would totally be so.
After the first, anyway.
Yeah, we wouldn't have Star Trek, but I'm just saying.
Exactly.
Yeah. I posted in the chat room a follow-up to our website, which follows up on a great supplemental log that we did last week for the STLV prep. We had Adrian and Janice join us to give us two different perspectives of what it's like to attend a convention, and tips and advice on what to do, whether or not you are an experienced convention attendee or somebody who has never been to one before and may be a bit intimidated by a convention attendance. Janice gave us some great feedback on what it was like for her to attend her first convention, her first Star Trek convention last year. And Adrian, of course, is an experienced live action role player, cosplayer, and convention attendee, especially in anime conventions. And we got some really, really great feedback. By the way, Michael, do we have any of that feedback?
I do have something ready to go for our listeners.
You guys have got to hear this.
Okay, this was a response from one of our regular listeners, Mr. Al Rivera. So here we go.
Hello, G&T Show. This is Al Rivera from Star Trek Online. I finished listening to your supplemental log on your Star Trek Las Vegas prep. Great show. A lot of good information. I really enjoyed it. You forgot one great pro tip. This was my favorite that I found out at the convention. The best place to meet the celebrities is at the bathrooms. Yes, the urinal is the great equalizer. There's nothing like standing at the urinal next to Brent Spiner, and I'll cherish that memory. So hopefully that'll help others, and maybe you'll meet a celebrity or two at their most human. Thank you.
And nothing's happening.
Oh no!
It's the profession.
There it goes.
Sunsail says they hear nothing.
Oh no, something's broken. Oops.
We'll try this again.
We
'cause
break
it's funny.
the
You
internet.
guys have got to hear this.
We break the internet. We make
the
it
good-
not go.
The good news is we can edit that.
Yes. I'm checking plugins.
By the way, I really do. And if I knew how to post a picture in the chat room, I would totally post my picture of Ducat.
Please don't. Please don't.
It looks like I'm missing a plugin.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
How odd.
Oh, no.
So, I'll have to include it in the
edited version.
In the edited version. Sorry.
Oh, so that was so funny, you people.
That was awesome. It was hilarious. Just put in the URL. But the problem is that the URL, this is a photo on my hard drive. I don't have a URL, which means I'd have to go to Photo Bucket and then put it in Photo Bucket and then upload that and then put the URL in, right? Yeah, that's a whole lot of shit.
Yeah, or upload it to our site and then grab the link from there. But essentially, the Al Rivera thing, for the benefit of our listeners who didn't hear it.
Yep. Sorry, guys.
Essentially, he said that one of the best places to meet celebrities is in the restroom. Now, we are not condoning that anyone stalks celebrities from the restroom.
No, and I have a question. How awkward would it be if I'm in the restroom and I run into Terry Farrell? I just think that I would probably get in some kind of trouble.
Yeah, probably.
I'm thinking that might cause a few eyebrows to rise, yes.
Yeah. I mean, Terry's standing there talking to Casey Biggs. Might just cause. I mean, I don't think the guys would be as flustered as the women.
I don't know. Some people have performance anxiety.
Well, that's true. That's true.
But you guys, if you get a chance, you listen to our show, and the edited version will contain this hilarious voicemail from Al Rivera, whom we love very, very much. And I'm just so glad that he listened to the episode, because it really is a great episode, and it does contain a lot of wonderful information from two great contributors. So thanks to Adrian and thanks to Janice again for joining us for the STLV prep show, because that was a blast.
And speaking of conventions, at the same time that we are in Vegas, August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd is Shore Leave, which I normally attend in Timonium, Maryland. And they had some big news, Terry. Well, their guest list, they've got Michael Welch, who's from the Twilight series, but, what are you going to do? Robert Picardo is going to be there.
Nice.
Eve
So
Miles.
Robert Picardo is attending Shore Leave instead of Star Trek Las Vegas. That means that Picardo's auction will be held in Baltimore, yes? Probably?
I guess, yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Good.
Eve Miles from Torchwood and Doctor Who will be there. Silas, S-I-L-A-S, Weir Mitchell from Grimm and Prison Break and 24. Terrell Rothery. She's from Stargate SG-1, Cedar Cove, and Caprica. Richard Dean Anderson will be there.
Oh, very cool.
Yes, and appearing via Skype on Sunday, Leonard Nimoy.
Wow, he's really doing a lot of Skype. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I'm glad that he's able to still attend the conventions, considering his health. And yay for electronic media. This is great.
Yeah, it really lets him continue interacting with fans. That's awesome.
Right, it really is.
And let me throw in some names that you all might know. Christopher L. Bennett.
Nice.
Kirsten Beyer.
Kirsten Beyer. Yay, Kirsten.
Diane Carey is going to be there, Terry.
Oh, wow.
I know, right? Greg Cox, Peter David, Keith DeCanado, Kevin Dillmore, Michael Jan Friedman, Dave Galantner, Robert Greenberger, Glenn Hawman, William Leisner, David Mack, Kelly Medding, Susan Olsen, Marco Palmieri, Aaron Rosenberg, Dayton Ward, Howard Weinstein, Richard C. White. So,
nice.
Yeah, and that's just a few. That's like people that we've had or have talked about on the show.
I had heard
Lorraine Anderson as well.
I had heard that Kevin is going to be on 3 different panels. 3 out of the 4 major panels that they're doing.
Yeah.
He's going to be on 3 of them. That's awesome. Congratulations, Kevin.
Very cool. I'm bummed they're the same weekend, and I'm still pissed, but what can we do? I'm still pissed. And finally, the last yes, Steve.
I think we're out of time, aren't we?
No, we need to talk about this.
Aren't we out of time?
No, I think we're good.
We got to get on to some other stuff before we...
I think we're good.
Do we need to? All right. It's up to you. If you want to bring the show down, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Not bringing the show down. We're actually very excited. Steve, our Midnight Shadow 7, who also is pretty much the guy who's held together our book club for the past 6 months plus, has also taken on the responsibility to become our correspondent to Destination Star Trek London. So if you guys want, Steve will be doing intermittent blogs here at the gntshow.com underneath the fan dance blog, and he will be attending the convention live and covering it for us. We're still trying to finagle a press pass for him, but I don't know, I'm not sure what's going on there, so I might have to sick sorry on him. But
medicated sorry.
Yeah, let's
back a medicated sorry into a corner.
So we want to thank Midnight Shadow so very much for taking on that responsibility for us and helping us out with that, because we all know, as Dayton would be so polite to remind everybody, the pay kind of sucks. So
wait, Cushman Zada's here and hasn't been talking?
Well, Ross was here and did you see that Ross was here?
Yeah,
Gingy was here?
Yeah, but
yes.
Kush has been here and not talking? What's up with that?
I think he's probably listening to us while he golfs. The U.S. Open's on too, you have to remember.
Oh, God. Don't even.
Hey, I started golfing once a week.
Hold on, we're going to talk about golf.
Very good. Well, the Destination Star Trek is looking pretty cool. It also looks extremely expensive. I'm like, how does anybody afford to go to this convention?
I know, right?
Shit. Holy crap. I mean, but they do. The William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy will be attending via video talk, Nichelle Nichols, Alice Krieger, Jonathan Frakes, Brent Spiner, Carl Urban, Bruce Greenwood, Jerry Ryan, Michael Dorn, I said that, Marina Sirtis, Gates McFadden, John Delancey, Denise Crosby, Tim Russ, James Darren, Alexander Siddig, Ethan Phillips, Max Grudenchik, Aaron Eisenberg, Casey Biggs, Susie Plax, and Haley Todd, Vaughn Armstrong. Oh my God, this list is amazing. And go ahead.
Speaking of Tim Russ, the Farpoint convention, which is in the Baltimore area in February, the much smaller one, Tim Russ has been announced as a guest for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. I love Tim Russ. And if he's playing, it sounds like Tim Russ's band might be playing in London as well, but I don't know.
Very cool.
Yeah, the Enterprise Blues Band is definitely playing in Star Trek London, which is great. We love them very much. And one day we're going to get Vaughn to answer our email and give us permission to use their music on the show. I'm going to have to, you know what I'm going to do? He's going to be at Star Trek London.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I'm just going to run over there.
No, what we'll do is we'll draw him over with the power of the podcast and then just surround him.
And say, you have to let us use your music.
Mm-hmm.
So just saying.
I've always thought that he and Casey Biggs, and I'm surprised they don't get more voiceover work because they have such great voices.
He does. Well, at least I think Casey Biggs does. And well, he is also a teacher, right? He's also, I think he's the professor of acting at what university? They all kind of teach.
And does what's his name? Oh, I can never remember his real name. Shram.
Oh, Jeffrey Combs.
Jeffrey Combs. Does he do a lot of voice? Because, my God, if anybody could do voiceover.
He does. I'm sure he does in the games. Jeffrey Combs has at least 4 or 5 characters in the Secret World. He does a lot of voiceover in games.
That's pretty good gig for people, isn't it? Game voiceover.
Yeah, game voiceover can be very good. It depends on, you don't get a lot of money on the MMO front, but you can in the console.
I was going to say the console world. Yeah.
Consoles, yeah, that's some big stuff. And let me see, does it show where he's teaching? Biggs is now the face of Paso Robles Wine, which he currently teaches directing and acting at the New School for Drama, and was. Oh,
that's where James Lipton is.
Is it in New York City? Yeah.
That's inside the Actors Studio.
Cool. Well, that's where Casey Biggs is now.
That's where he's the dean or whatever.
Right on.
Okay. Now, and he teaches directing and acting.
Terry,
yes.
Did you have anything else? Because there was something I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
That is not necessarily Star Trek related, but we do cover some bigger stuff, and this is an issue that's near and dear to things that we've talked about.
Got that done. Dayton EdX is in there already. Woo, Mike, you're fast. Okay, we're good. Go for it.
Did you see the news that came out about Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed?
I almost did a fan dance this week on it. I
know you favorited one of my tweets about it.
Yeah, I'm
Mike,
I'm highly disappointed. Angry.
Nobody can be more disappointed than the awesome Gail Simone who went off.
Mike, do you know anything about the controversy?
No, I missed this.
Okay. E3 was this week in Los Angeles. E3, which is this enormous convention. It is the convention for video games. It's the Electronic Entertainment Expo in Los Angeles. It's been going on for well over a decade. And Ubisoft...
It's the Comic-Con for games.
It's the Comic-Con for games. It's huge. And this week, Ubisoft, which is the publisher and developer for many, many games, including Assassin's Creed, came out with 2 different kind of conflicting statements about female characters in games.
And let me read this quote from an article about it. Speaking in an interview with Polygon Unity, because it's Assassin's Creed Unity is the game, creative director Alex Amancio said that while they originally planned to include female assassins, the reality of production made adding the additional characters too costly. The studio had to, and had to's in quotes, cut female assassins from the co-op mode, Amancio explained in response to a question from Polygon's Ben Kuchera, because keeping them in would have doubled the cost of pretty much everything. It's double the animations, double the voices, all that stuff, double the visual assets, especially because we have customizable assassins. As a result, and here's the main thrust, Mike, it was really a lot of extra production work, and it's not like we could cut our main character Arno.
And then foolishly backed that up with several other on the record, poorly worded statements about how female characters do not sell, and that they had history.
That's true, because Lara Croft isn't one of the biggest selling ever.
And here's the problem: is that they even said that what's her name, the female assassin in their secondary game that just came out. There was Assassin's Creed 3, and then there was Assassin's Creed
Black Flag.
Revolution. I think it was
Revolution, and then Black Flag.
Okay, but she wasn't in Black Flag.
Okay, so she was in Revolution?
I think she was in her own. And the problem is that they had her own game, but Who knew? But the only fucking way you could play this character was if you bought the PS Vita. All right? And now they have the fucking audacity to say that female characters don't sell. Well, you know what? If you had made that console game for the regular PS3, at the time it was the PS3 before the PS4 came out, out. If they had made the character before just a standalone console
it was Assassin's
game.
Creed Liberation. Terry.
Thank you. It's the Creole. She's so amazing. I was so excited when I found out that they were making a female assassin game. She was a standalone character, and you could play her. And I thought, that's fucking amazing. I can get her for my PS3. And I thought, all of a sudden, it was like they announced at E3 last year. Oh yeah, no, you won't be able to play this game on the PS. You have to buy the Vita to do it, which is the little portable game. I was like, fuck you, Ubisoft. I'm not buying your goddamn console to play one game. I want to play that game on the console I currently own. So you're telling me that your female character didn't sell? It's because you put it in the...
Isn't it kind of like Star Trek, NBC, putting it on Friday night at 10 o'clock and giving it no press releases or anything like Mark Cushman talks about?
They wanted it to fail. Well, also, in follow-up to this jackass's statement about the costs of creating female characters in a multiplayer game is also bullshit. And now they've had to kind of retract what they said because the designers and the actual artists have come out and said, are you kidding? It would have been 2 more clicks for me. I could have totally put female characters into this. It wouldn't have cost that much more money. And the only reason why they're not doing it is because they have a belief that female characters don't sell. And so we're getting shut out yet again because they don't think we're worth it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, I'm so pissed.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Lara Croft sold a few units, right?
Yeah.
Isn't the Silent Hill franchise, isn't the main character of that a woman?
And there is so much data out there that proves Ubisoft wrong on both issues. One, it isn't more expensive to create female characters. And 2, female characters sell. So Ubisoft is doing this because they're douchebags. That's all there is to it.
I knew this would get things fired up, Mike.
Oh, I was so pissed. The only reason I haven't done a fan dance blog about it is because I've been too pissed. I've been so pissed.
And, it really is, and this goes to what we've talked about in the past as far as we can't make a Wonder Woman movie because a woman can't carry a superhero movie.
Oh, my God.
Really?
I know.
Okay. It's fucking Wonder Woman.
It's Wonder Woman. She
okay?
totally sells.
If you know why it's not going to sell? Let's look at the script for Daredevil. A hero whose movie should have been awesome, but the script was balls.
Yeah. It all does come down to the writing. You and I know that. But I was so pissed about the Ubisoft thing. I was
right, and this just goes to that whole. Why is Batgirl my favorite title? Because Gail Simone writes an amazing story.
Yes, she does.
Let's look at Winter Soldier. Was half. It should have been Captain America and Black Widow. If it was a comic book, it would have been called Captain America and Black Widow. Seriously. Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, I don't think you're wrong is how I should have phrased that. I love the fact that she's in it. She does deserve her own film. She could totally carry her own film.
And there's talks that Marvel is really seriously, it looks like they're going to make a Black Widow film, which, stuff. That just
I know.
Marvel gets it with the female in the movies. I mean, even Pepper Potts in Iron Man 3, she saves the day in that movie. And look, I am no Gwyneth Paltrow fan by any stretch of the imagination. By the way, Gwyneth Paltrow, aside from keeping your mouth shut because you say so many stupid things, do me a favor, sweetie, eat a sandwich. Yeah. And this is not me body shaming. This is just saying you're really too thin. And I say that having had a crush on your mother when I grew up.
Well, and you still do. She's still beautiful. Yes,
really
sir.
Is.
You said, Marvel gets it. Well, look who's kind of spearheading a lot of the Marvel series.
You're talking about Joss?
Josh, yes.
No, it's Quesada. Quesada's the one who's the linchpin of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes, but
and
my point was just that Josh is not afraid of featuring women. He understands.
No,
he gets it.
No, he's not. But Marvel has gone outside the box for a lot of directors who will stretch things and go in directions that movies normally won't do. You could argue that Black Widow had a small role in Iron Man 2 where she was introduced, but she still served a pretty important function in that movie it made Jon Favreau look hilarious in the process. But the women in the Marvel universe have been really brought to the fore. And in the gaming worlds, I mean, some of the biggest characters, Mass Effect, right? That's a woman, the commander.
Yeah. I don't know. It just never ceases to amaze me how stupid. If you're going to open your mouth, make sure you're telling the truth. And in this particular case, the creative director for Ubisoft lied through his fucking teeth. And that's what we're really pissed about. No, you just tell the truth. Tell the truth and say you didn't want to make a female character because you're under however correct or incorrect it is, you're under the assumption that female characters don't sell. That might have something to do with the fact that you placed a fantastic character like Aveline into a position to where she couldn't be purchased like every other character that you make. So fuck you.
Now, I'm going to...
Yes,
Terry, you've got to let me. Terry, you've got to let me finish this train of thought before you yell at me. Some of this is also incumbent on women, and I'm not doing a blame the victim thing. You have to let me finish. I was reading an article that came out this week during this whole Ubisoft thing. Some of the most talented women, some of the most talented writers, be it games, hi Christine, comic books, Gail Simone, movies, directors, what's her name, who did Zero Dark 30 and The Hurt Locker.
Mm-hmm.
But only 16% of comic book writers are women, and 17% of game designers, writers are women.
Right. Whose fault is that?
Well, that's what I don't know. How many are attempting to even get into the field?
That's a really good question. How many
are applying and not getting a job? And because that to me is the one stat that was left out.
Those are stats that will never be released. There isn't a company out there who's going to go out and say, okay, well, here's the job that we had, and here's how many applicants we had. And of those applicants, 60% were women, but we still chose a man. You're never going to see those. Right. You're never going to see those stats. They're never going to be released. A better stat would be, what are the percentages of women in school who are currently taking game design? How many engineers are in school right now who are trying to get a job and
my guess is the percentage of women in like game design, like going to the schools for that and stuff. My guess, and I don't know, this is pure me just guessing, I don't think it probably would be that high.
I don't think it's going to be that high, but you have an additional hurdle, and don't forget about that. Go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say, I think this is a very complex issue, but I think part of it, again, is this perception that is created that men do these jobs. Okay,
right.
Those perceptions have to be brought down, because if people believe that men get these jobs, then there aren't going to be a lot of women who try to go for those jobs, and then so it's kind of like one of those self-fulfilling prophecies.
It is, and it is a catch-22, and like I was saying, there's an additional hurdle on top of it. Say a woman wants to get into game design and engineering and coding, and is able to get through the school, and now has the additional hurdle of having to deal with what is, and everybody knows, is a culture of being anti-woman for the most part, of having how many women really want to tolerate that bullshit in a job that they take. They get
now,
into
when you
a
say
job,
anti-woman,
it's just
you don't mean open hostility towards women, do you?
Not in all cases. There are known. You better believe that there's still a whole bunch of open hostility. You want to talk about what happens at who makes fucking Eve Online? Those crazy bastards, right? How many women have quit there because they were openly agitated, openly of that? It never ceases to amaze me how evil those people were to the women who were there. And the only other person who, I think there's only 1-2 women who work there now. I mean, it's just, they constantly leave. Why? Because the culture of their department is so bad that they're like, why am I dealing with this shit? And it's not like, so they leave. Yeah, thank you. It was CCCP. Oh, those are crazy bastards there. And they're in Iceland, so they don't have to deal with that.
Oh, I was just going to ask, how are they getting away? But they're in Iceland.
Iceland, that's why.
I think we need to get a hold of Christine and Kate and have them come on for a supplemental log.
That would be awesome.
It would be really great because...
get Gail Simone on there, too.
And not the least of which is it's a Star Trek product, too. I mean, I have to ask, how many women are working on Neverwinter? How many women are working on... Is Champion still around? I hate to ask, but Champion.
Yeah, it is.
And they have a couple couple of secret projects in the works at Cryptic. Cryptic tends to see, I've been there and I've seen how Cryptic is with their team effort, and the attitude there is far different from those at other game developers. And those game developers, and mostly tend to be outside the U.S., like CCCP and a bunch in Korea and Japan, where there is a male-centered culture, and women are just there to be the tits and ass, like they are in the game.
And it bleeds to definitely in the comic book world. I mean, like I said, only 16% of them, the writers, are female. It didn't even say how many of the artists, but I could not name, sadly, a female artist off the top of my head.
Right.
And then that goes into what I think we talked about a few weeks ago, or was it on the show? I don't remember, where the Teen Titans cover, the girl is like 14.
Right, and she's all tits and ass.
Oh my God, it was like horrendous. And, and that's one of the funny things is somebody told me, this is what I was told this, Terry. Now this is funny. You only like comics because of the way women are drawn. My favorite comic is Batgirl. And if you think Batgirl is tits and ass, you really need to look at her costume.
And that's very true. But here's the other question it comes down to that whole does it sell thing. Does Batgirl sell as well as male-centered characters?
Yeah, it's one of the highest sellers.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I haven't gotten mine since March. So
poor Kaboom.
Oh, I feel so bad for them. I'm going on the record to say I support Kaboom. Whatever their distributor is doing to them, I hope they sue the fuck out of them because they're pissing me off. So the thing, to get back to the kind of the argument about Ubisoft coming up with this bullshit excuse about women being too expensive to actually design and put into a game, I have to ask, what is it about the culture of that particular company? There are other games where female characters sell very, very well. Halo and others, Mass Effect, that we know do very well. And the female characters are extremely well written and aren't about the TNA. And we know that those exist, and we know that they sell very, very well. So what is it specifically about the culture of Ubisoft that made them think that this is something that they needed to make an excuse about or not do and do well? That's what I'm saying, is that I really want to put the focus where it belongs, and it belongs with that company. That company now has a set in stone from its directors and creative directors on up or down, has said, and I don't even want to say down, because a lot of the actual current engineers and designers are coming out going, I'm going on the record as saying, no, it wouldn't have cost me that much more because the frames are the same. The motions are the same. How they move is the same. How they run is the same. All we would have had to do is build a different kind of casing for the frame of the body, and that wouldn't have taken that long. So they're calling bullshit on their own supervisors. So what is it about the culture of the supervisor and the corporate level than there is from their creative people down below? That's what needs to be addressed.
Probably just their, like Mike said, their impression that their own numbers don't even back up. Oh my God, back up. Now, Terry, I'll tell you real quick. For April of this year, out of the top 70 comic books sold, Wonder Woman was number 69 with 31,000 sold, which is a great. Did you hear that? I said Ms. Marvel is number 55. I don't think I had the button pushed down.
Oh,
okay. There was a long silence.
There was a long silence, and I thought maybe I had lost signal.
No, Batgirl's number 60.
Wonder Woman was number 69.
Batgirl's number 65. Ms. Marvel, number 55. I'm going up here. Serenity. Oh, I won't. I just saw it.
Sunseal said it exactly. It goes down to the same problem that every other form of entertainment has, and that's nobody wants to take a risk. And here's the thing which pisses me off, Sunseal.
Electra's number 32.
Oh, interesting. And how
she sold.
But Sunseal, you were saying it goes to mean risk, and here's the thing: is that Ubisoft. I'm not sure that they're not doing something on purpose here, and that's what bothers me. Is they release the Assassin's Creed 3 Revelations and Liberation. I think it is Liberation, and Aventine is an African French French character, and they only release it for the Vita, and they re-released it to Xbox 3 in January of this year, almost a full year after its initial release for Vita. Ubisoft never came out with an announcement about its re-release of Liberation to Xbox 3 or Xbox 4.
Harley Quinn soda.
And that's what they're almost doing it on purpose so they can say, "See, we have proof that women don't sell." It's heinous. I hate them so much right now.
Harley Quinn solo titles number 15.
And I have to ask, a Harley Quinn solo title. He's not.
I love it. I love it. It's hilarious.
And I'm not going to diss her character except for the fact that she's, drawn that way.
Well,
but she talks about it in her own comic book.
She does.
I
know. That's why I'm saying is I can't give too much grief, but at the same time, is there not
Captain Marvel
a correlation?
Captain Marvel's at 79.
Oh God, and that's so wrong.
She-Hulk at 83, Black Widow at 84.
Okay, and these are strong female characters. You know what? The fact is, women have got to go out there and start buying more comics for the women. That's all there is to it.
Now, you can look at things like the X-Men, which is always a lot of very strong women, and some of their most famous, biggest selling characters. So, like Amazing X-Men is at 37. All New X-Men 17.
Oops. Hello.
And 14. Yeah, hold on. That's my daughter. I think she's calling for Daddy's Day. Hold on.
That's sweet.
Well, for the record, I just want to say, I love women, and this kind of stuff, is disrespectful, and no woman deserves to be disrespected. We need to get our heads out of our collective asses and start showing women respect that they deserve.
I think that's sweet. We love you too. But I think that all that women really want, especially in the gaming and entertainment communities, is the respect that men give each other. We're not looking for more than that. We're not looking to be put on a pedestal, but being looked in the eye would be nice.
Yeah.
So,
I love the Ms. Marvel title.
Don't talk to me about it yet. I still don't know. So don't.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
People just need to respect themselves, each other,
and themselves. Absolutely,
is kind of the point. I mean, they're not, and that's the problem. Is we're all human beings. We all deserve the same opportunities. It doesn't matter male, female, whatever. It's just, come on, people. Can we all just get along?
I love you. That's awesome. I know. Okay, I think
it was my kids calling to wish me a happy Father's Day. They're up in New York.
That's nice. If we can tie up the show so you can give them a call back and we can let.
No, they're out doing something with their grandpa. So.
Well, that and the fact that we're out of time, sweetheart.
Well, that's it. Mike, I heard what you said, and well said. I love women too. Mike and we're lovers of women.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know this about you too. Oh, Honor Harrington. Yes, we love her. I love her very, very much. We're supposed to be talking about books.
Books. They're these bound things with paper and words.
I've heard tales of the dead tree format, but I don't believe them. No, you're wrong. They're this thing that you put on your Kindle.
Amazon, ebook. If you haven't bought it, I will cunt punch you. That's a great line.
It's a good line.
Do you read Star Trek novels? I'm sure Swallow has some stories he could tell us.
I love big books and I can't lie.
That's one of the really good things in life. To me, as long as it's enjoyable to read.
That's a good book. Wasn't it a good book, Mike?
It was.
That's because Mackenzie Calhoun is badass.
No, it is not a Cardassian generational epic.
I was like in heaven.
It's really good.
Right on.
I gotta tell you guys, I told you I finished Neverwhere, correct? I am now reading, and if you listen to the book club, I've started, now I have not read it since I was like 7 years old. I'm reading the first John Carter of Mars book, The Warrior Princess. Terry, this is I forgot how goddamn well written and awesome this is.
Yeah,
this Edgar Rice Burroughs might be somebody someday.
Oh, that's right. Don't worry, Midnight. We'll talk about the book club.
I warned him about this. No, we're not gonna. I warned him to not pester us.
But Mike, you just finished reading Ceremony of Losses.
I've read Revelations in Dust. I've read I can never think of Una's book in the fall series.
The Crimson
Shadow. Crimson Shadow. Yes. Yep. And just last night I finished reading A Ceremony of Losses, and I'm 2 chapters in already on A Poison Chalice.
Oh, Swallow.
Yes. It's a little odd jumping from author to author because there's that
that period of adjustment.
Yes.
They're all so good.
Yeah, that one is swallowtastic, so.
And they're getting better and better.
And better?
It's like, oh my God, my head's going to explode by the time I get to Dayton's.
What is it? Does Jeff Kahn know when we start to talk about books? Does he have like a sixth sense that we're not aware of?
I think he's one of the viewers who's not in our chat room, and then he comes in when we're...
But how does he know that? Oh, you think that he's one of the guests?
Yeah, one of the lurkers.
Oh, and he doesn't sign... But doesn't it automatically sign you in? It does for me.
No, not if you don't. If you're not going to chat, no, you can just listen in.
Yeah.
You cheater.
No, it's fine. It's fine. He's our ombudsman. He's allowed to be in the background.
Just fine. Be antisocial. I don't care. Whatever.
Would you really want to be social with this group?
Yes, actually, I would. I love them very much. And, well, you see? Forgot to log on. Okay, fine. Be that way, DEFCON. Well, how I have to ask you, I know that how did you enjoy Ceremony of Losses? Because I've been gut-wrenched by it.
What they did to that particular character, to Bashir, I'm just like, holy crap.
I'm so pissed.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean...
I'm pissed!
I hope it's not over for him. I really hope it's not over for him, because I do not want to see him suffer that fate for the rest of his life. That's not cool. And
I'm having issues. I know.
I really don't like that cover for the draft, for the full German cover of Full Circle. I really don't like that cover.
And then the Andorian thing, I am pleased with the way that turned out. I'm very pleased. Although I have not read the earlier Typhon books, so
you kind of got it. The good news is you kind of got a great gist of what happened.
Yes.
David Mack, as he is, he's a master of being able to bring you up to speed without burdening you with too many facts.
Yeah.
You get the idea of what happened in the Typhon Pack books without having to feel like, oh, I have to read the Typhon Pack books.
Well, I still want to.
Yeah, they're very good. They're very good.
I thought that was great. Una's book, going back a little bit. Oh my God. At first I was like, wait, is this supposed to be Garrick? I don't quite hear the Garrick, and then it's like halfway through, it's like all of a sudden there's no doubt.
Una McCormick speaks Garrick. She does.
It's because Garrick's character had changed so much since we had last seen him on the screen, and really that was the last time I saw Garrick was on the screen, and now he's this Federation ambassador, and he's I was confused, because all of a sudden here's this character that I knew so well, so to speak, and all of a sudden he's different.
Right.
So,
but he's really not. He has just evolved. Right.
But once he gets back into the routine of manipulating events and people and things, I was like, oh, there he is.
Yeah, he's a master. He is, and you can't help but root for him.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot help it, because even though, like I said, that's what I loved about Una's book, is because she takes two characters that you think are polar opposites, Picard and Garrick, and she finds a way to make you realize that they're just two sides of the same mirror, that they achieve the same goal. They're both manipulative people, and you don't think about that in Picard's way, but Picard works from a different foundation, and Garrick works from his own. And while Picard would never work the way that Garrick works, and Garrick lacks the ability to work the way that Picard works, because he's so entrenched in that subterfuge way of doing things, that they're perfect balances for each other. And I love that book so much. So good.
Yes. And then where that particular character ends up, I cheered. I was so pleased, surprised, pleased.
Yeah.
And I was sort of drawing a parallel to some real world things. Because here's this guy who was a spy essentially, and now all of a sudden he's so much more. And I don't want to spoil it.
You don't want to give it away, right?
But it's like, I'm seeing some real world parallels here, and it's like, just really, really well done. Obviously, what happens in the first book with Nanbako,
That was wow.
I blame Ben Sitter. I still say he's the one that put the hit out.
I have to admit, I have not read a lot of books with her, so my relationship with her or towards her is not as strong as Nick's.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely interested in going back and reading some of those and learning more about her character.
Well, one of the things I want to do, if we can set up a real quick thread on the G&T show forums, that would be great. Somebody in the Star Trek Online threads over at Facebook posted a really great question, and I would like to hear the same from our listeners, and that is, what was the very first Star Trek book you read? And to date, what is your favorite Star Trek book? Doesn't have to be the one and the same. We all know that they could be different. So I thought it was neat because I had posted my answer in the Star Trek Online forum, which was, my first book was Q&A by Keith R. DeCandido. And my favorite book to date is Star Trek The Next Generation, The Sky's the Limit, which is the anthology of short stories for the 20th anniversary of TNG. And it was sweet because Keith R. DeCandido came into the thread and said his first book was James Blish it was Star Trek number 3, the James Blish book number 3. And so I would like to hear your.
I think the first one I ever read was it was either a Blish one or it was the novelization of the motion picture.
Yeah, so I kind of want to hear what everybody else has to say. So if we can fire up a thread.
Way back in the 70s.
Awesome. Thanks, Story. You rock. So the link is in the chat room. You can also head over to, if you're listening to the edited version of this show, you can look at, we'll put the link in the chat show notes, and you can head over to the forums, log in, and share with us. It's okay, Sunseal. Yeah, that is true. You haven't had your heart ripped apart, but you know what? It feels so good. I'm just saying, it's blissful torture. It really is. Except for Picard's Bond. Whatever. There we go.
Okay, so announcements?
Yes, please.
Club has been pushed up. It was on the 25th. It is now on the 18th, which means we had a scheduling issue occur, so we moved it forward. So look for that later this week, I think. Yep. Also, we are trying to secure new interviews and get new features and new capabilities, and some of that requires our social media numbers to be higher than what they are. So we are asking everybody who's listening, we know that there's a lot of you out there, to like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll include all links to all these in our show notes. And follow us on Mixcloud. Follow us on Twitter. We need to get our social media numbers up so that way it's easier for us to, get press passes for cons and to get interviews with the people, that we want to talk to.
And we're not above us having stringers at other conventions if we can get a press pass, say for if you live in the Dallas area, going to a Dallas convention and being a stringer for us. A stringer is, of course, a local correspondent.
Right. And again, so don't please help pitch our Facebook page, our Twitter page, all of our uploads. So subscribe to YouTube, subscribe and follow us on Mixcloud. Mixcloud we're doing great on. But our website numbers are phenomenal. So, which is great because I want people to come to our website and listen to our show, which is wonderful. But when it comes to getting press passes, which Baltimore Comic Con was just amazing. They were so great for us because when they heard our website numbers, they were like, oh, okay, well, that kind of changes things. Why aren't your social media numbers a bit higher? And it's a great question for them to have asked. And we're like, well, because people go to our website, and that's obvious. And that's what we keep telling. We keep directing people to our website because that's what we want. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with really pitching our social media. So if you guys don't mind helping us out with that, that would be lovely. Don't forget to share Facebook posts. Don't forget to share tweets, retweet, and help us out. That would be great because the more social media numbers we can pitch to these people, the better we can cover the cons you want us to talk about. And there we go.
And I think, I had mentioned this earlier to Nick and Terry, but I think I'm at a point where I need help. I need someone to kind of sort of take over our Facebook page and kind of help us out with that social media aspect. So if you're interested, drop me an email.
Have your agent contact us.
That's hosts@gntshow.com. Again, also ask Dayton questions. Don't forget, Dayton still, for some unknown reasons,
he's still hanging on. He's
still talking to us. So if you have a question for Dayton, send it to hosts@gntshow.com. If you have any concerns, you can also leave us a voicemail. On the right-hand side of our website, there's like a microphone that says send voicemail. And you can do that. And we actually
then we'll
get
have 10 seconds of silence on air.
And,
only on the live portion, apparently. I'm going to try to figure out what's going on with that.
And so thanks again, guys. We really appreciate it. Again, this was a great
and
show.
How many days till we're all at Terry's?
And, God, 40-something?
Less than that to be at your house, isn't it?
Oh.
And y'all need to pay attention, because when we decide cooking with G&T time...
Yeah, I have to find a way to film that. That should be funny.
I can stream it from my computer, can't I?
Oh, we can put the laptop up. There we go.
Like
See,
we did last year.
I have a desktop now, so it's all confusing.
Now, Mike, can we stream video on this site here?
I could probably figure it out.
Nice.
Yeah, because if not, then I have a live stream account that I can use. If
I think YouTube also allows.
Oh, yeah, you can do it on YouTube.
So. YouTube would be great, actually, and Google Hangouts would be even funnier.
Google Hangouts, when I go to stuff there, they tend to be a lot skippier.
Yeah.
Twitchy's another one, isn't it? Or is that just for games?
Twitch is for games, typically.
Okay. All right.
All right, you guys. Thanks so much for listening. This was episode 146, and catch us next week. Don't forget, book club on the 18th, which will be at 6 o'clock Pacific time, correct, Michael?
Yes.
That is Wednesday the 18th. You are welcome to join us. We are going to be talking about the first book in the Typhon Pack series, Zero Sum Game. And then do we want to tell them who we're going to talk to next week or the week after that?
It's not final. I have to get final confirmation.
Okay. Hopefully, keep your fingers crossed, people, because if we get the interview that we think we're going to get for Wednesday the 25th, it's going to be really good. So don't forget, if there's somebody you want us to talk to, is there an author you want us to talk to, an interview? Is there a book you really want us to discuss? Let us know. Hosts@gntshow.com. You can follow me on Twitter @TerryLynnS. You can follow the show @SundayGNT. Nick, where can people follow you?
@Gettysburg7, and also you can follow us on our Facebook page, GNT Show.
And I'm Ceridium Stowe. That's SORIEDEMSTO, and we're on YouTube.
Awesome.
Stalk us on social media.
What's the YouTube? Is it GNT Show?
Actually, it was my private one, Ceridium. I believe is what it is. I'm trying to figure out how to change the name.
Oh, okay.
We'll tweet it if we can't. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great week and happy Father's Day.
Kapla.
Joe Lontrue, bitches.
GNT Show is a busy little beaver production.
Music for the GNT Show is provided by Warp 11, Grethor, 5-Year Mission, and Andrew Allen's Smooth Federation.
Gonna take a 5-year tour. Boldly go where no man's gone before. Gonna travel to the end and make new friends. Move ahead, walk back to 10. Put a mini skirt on my old man. Represent the human race, and we make this a happy place. be no cons or Kobayashi. I'm gonna travel to the end and make new friends with aliens. To Boligo where no man's gone before. Space happy. I think I sang that line once before, but I'm not too sure. We'll be so happy, can't you see? A zero-G community. To Boligo where no man's gone before. Space happy. I think I sang that line once before, but I'm not too sure. They'll be so happy, can't you see? A zero-G